a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Croatia. Croatia, officially the Republic of Croatia, is a country situated at the crossroads of Central and Southeast Europe. On the Adriatic Sea, its capital city is Zagreb, which forms one of the country's primary subdivisions, along with its 20 counties. Croatia has a total area of 56,594 square kilometers and a population of 4.28 million, most of whom Roman Catholics. The Croats arrived in the area of present-day Croatia during the 6th century AD. They organized the state into 2 duchies by the 9th century. Tomislav became the first king by 925, elevating Croatia to the status of a kingdom. The Kingdom of Croatia retained its sovereignty for nearly 2 centuries, reaching its peak during the rule of kings Petar Krešimir IV and Dmitar Zvonimir. Croatia entered a personal union with Hungary in 1102. In 1527, faced with Ottoman conquest, the Croatian Parliament elected Ferdinand I of the House of Habsburg to the Croatian throne. During the early 19th century, parts of the country were split into the French Illyrian provinces, and Austria-Hungary occupied its Bosnia and Herzegovina side, a dispute settled by the 1878 Treaty of Berlin. In 1918, after World War I, Croatia was included in the unrecognized state of Slovenes, Croats and Serbs, which seceded from Austria-Hungary and merged into the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. A fascist Croatian puppet state backed by Fascist Italy and Nazi Germany existed in World War II. After the war, Croatia became a founding member and a federal constituent of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, a constitutionally socialist state. On the 25th of June 1991, Croatia declared independence, which came wholly into effect on the 8th of October of the same year. The Croatian War of Independence was fought successfully for 4 years following the declaration. Croatia is a republic governed under a parliamentary system and a developed country with a very high standard of living, a middle power in international relations. It is a member of the European Union, United Nations, the Council of Europe, NATO, the World Trade Organization, and a founding member of the Union for the Mediterranean. As an active participant in the UN peacekeeping forces, Croatia has contributed troops to the NATO-led mission in Afghanistan and took a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council for the 2008-2009 term. Since 2000, the Croatian government has constantly invested in infrastructure, especially transport routes and facilities along the pan-European corridors. The service sector dominates Croatia's economy, followed by the industrial sector and agriculture. International tourism is a significant source of revenue during the summer, with Croatia ranked the 18th most popular tourist destination in the world. The state controls a part of the economy, with substantial government expenditure. The European Union is Croatia's most important trading partner. Internal sources produce a significant portion of energy in Croatia. Croatia provides a social security, universal healthcare system, and a tuition-free primary and secondary education, while supporting culture through numerous public institutions and corporate investments in media and publishing. Etymology. The name of Croatia derives from medieval Latin Croatia. Compared excruative attested in the Zvonimir inscription, itself a derivation of Northwest Slavic zrovat, by liquid metathesis from proposed Common Slavic period sorvat, from proposed Proto-Slavic servitu, which possibly comes from Old Persian zarakswat. The word is attested by the Old Iranian toponym Haravat, which is the native name of Arachosia. The origin of the name is uncertain, but is thought to be a Gothic or Indo-Aryan term assigned to a Slavic tribe. The oldest preserved record of the Croatian ethnonym Xvat is a variable stem, attested in the Baška tablet in style Zvonimir Kralj Sarvateski. The first attestation of the Latin term is attributed to a charter of Duke Krešimir from the year 852. The original is lost, and just a 1,568 copy is preserved, leading to doubts over the authenticity of the claim. The oldest preserved stone inscription is the 9th century Zvonimir inscription found near Benkovac, where Duke Zvonimir is styled as Dux Croativ. The inscription is not believed to be dated accurately, but is likely to be from during the period of 879–892, during Branimir's rule. Prehistory and Antiquity. The area known as Croatia today was inhabited throughout the prehistoric period. Fossils of Neanderthals dating to the Middle Paleolithic period have been unearthed in northern Croatia, with the most famous and the best presented site in Kršimir. Remnants of several Neolithic and Chalcolithic cultures were found in all regions of the country. The largest proportion of the sites is in the river valleys of northern Croatia, and the most significant cultures whose presence was discovered include Starcevo, Vucedol and Barden cultures. The Iron Age left traces of the early Illyrian Hallstatt culture and the Celtic La Tene culture. Greek and Roman rule. Much later, the region was settled by Illyrians and Liburnians, while the first Greek colonies were established on the islands of Var, Korčula, and Vis. In 9 AD the territory of today's Croatia became part of the Roman Empire. Emperor Diocletian built a large palace in Split when he retired in AD 305. During the 5th century, one of the last emperors of the Western Roman Empire, Julius Nepos, ruled his small empire from the palace. The period ends with Avar and Croat invasions in the first half of the 7th century and destruction of almost all Roman towns. Roman survivors retreated to more favorable sites on the coast, islands and mountains. The city of Dubrovnik was founded by such survivors. From Epidaurus. The ethnogenesis of Croats is uncertain and there are several competing theories, Slavic and Iranian being the most frequently put forward. The most widely accepted of these, the Slavic theory, proposes migration of White Croats from the territory of White Croatia during the migration period. Conversely, the Iranian theory proposes Iranian origin, based on Danais tablets containing Greek inscription of given names Chi Omicron Rho Omicron Alpha Theta, Omicron Sigma, Chi Omicron Rho Omicron Theta Omicron Sigma, and Chi Omicron Rho Alpha Theta Omicron Sigma, and their interpretation as anthroponyms of Croatian people. Middle Ages. According to the work De Administrando Imperio written by the 10th century Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII, the Croats had arrived in what is today Croatia in the early 7th century. However, that claim is disputed, and competing hypotheses date the event between the 6th and the 9th centuries. Eventually two dukedoms were formed, Duchy of Pannonia and Duchy of Croatia, ruled by Ljudevit and Borna, as attested by chronicles of Einhard starting in 818. The record represents the first document of Croatian realms, vassal states of Francia at the time. The Frankish overlordship ended during the reign of Mislav 2 decades later. According to the Constantine VII, Christianization of Croats began in the 7th century, but the claim is disputed and generally Christianization is associated with the 9th century. The first native Croatian ruler recognized by the Pope was Duke Branimir, who received papal recognition from Pope John VIII on 7 June 879. Tomislav was the first ruler of Croatia who was styled a king in a letter from the Pope John X, dating Kingdom of Croatia to year 925. Tomislav defeated Hungarian and Bulgarian invasions, spreading the influence of Croatian kings. The medieval Croatian kingdom reached its peak in the 11th century during the reigns of Petar Krešimir IV and Dmitar Zvonimir, when Stjepan II died in 1091 ending the Trimirovic dynasty. Ladislaus I of Hungary claimed the Croatian crown in name of his sister Helena, wife of King Dmitar Zvonimir. Opposition to the claim led to a war and personal union of Croatia and Hungary in 1102, ruled by Koluman. For the next 4 centuries, the Kingdom of Croatia was ruled by the Sabor and a band appointed by the king. The period saw increasing threat of Ottoman conquest and struggle against the Republic of Venice for control of coastal areas. The Venetians gained control over most of Dalmatia by 1428. With exception of the city-state of Dubrovnik which became independent. Ottoman conquests led to the 1493 Battle of Krvava Field and 1526 Battle of Mohač, both ending in decisive Ottoman victories. King Louis II died at Mohač, and in 1527, the Croatian Parliament met in Cetin and chose Ferdinand I of the House of Habsburg as new ruler of Croatia, under the condition that he provide protection to Croatia against the Ottoman Empire while respecting its political rights. This period saw the rise of influential nobility such as the Frankopan and Zrinski families to prominence and ultimately numerous bands from the two families. Habsburg Monarchy and Austria-Hungary, 1538-1918. Following the decisive Ottoman victories, Croatia was split into civilian and military territories. With the partition formed in 1538, the military territories would become known as the Croatian military frontier and were under direct imperial control. Ottoman advances in the Croatian territory continued until the 1593 Battle of Sisak, the first decisive Ottoman defeat, and stabilization of borders. During the Great Turkish War, Slavonia was regained, but western Bosnia, which had been part of Croatia before the Ottoman conquest, remained outside Croatian control. The present-day border between the two countries is a remnant of this outcome. Dalmatia, the southern part of the border, was similarly defined by the 5th and the 7th Ottoman-Venetian Wars. The Ottoman Wars instigated great demographic changes. Croats migrated towards Austria, and the present-day Burgenland Croats are direct descendants of these settlers. To replace the fleeing population, the Habsburgs encouraged the Christian populations of Bosnia and Serbia to provide military service in the Croatian military frontier. Serb migration into this region peaked during the Great Serb Migrations of 1690 and 1737–39. The Croatian Parliament supported King Charles III's Pragmatic Sanction and signed their own Pragmatic Sanction in 1712. Subsequently, the emperor pledged to respect all privileges and political rights of Kingdom of Croatia, and Queen Maria Theresa made significant contributions to Croatian matters. Between 1797 and 1809 the First French Empire gradually occupied the entire eastern Adriatic coastline and a substantial part of its hinterland, ending the Venetian and the Ragusan republics, establishing the Illyrian provinces. In response, the Royal Navy started the blockade of the Adriatic Sea, leading to the Battle of Vis in 1811. The Illyrian provinces were captured by the Austrians in 1813, and absorbed by the Austrian Empire following the Congress of Vienna in 1815. This led to formation of the Kingdom of Dalmatia and restoration of the Croatian littoral to the Kingdom of Croatia, now both under the same crown. The 1830s and 1840s saw Romantic nationalism inspire the Croatian national revival, a political and cultural campaign advocating the unity of all South Slavs in the empire. Its primary focus was the establishment of a standard language as a counterweight to Hungarian, along with the promotion of Croatian literature and culture. During the Hungarian Revolution of 1848, Croatia sided with the Austrians, Ban Josip Jelačić helping defeat the Hungarian forces in 1849, and ushering a period of Germanization policy. By the 1860s, failure of the policy became apparent, leading to the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, and creation of a personal union between the crowns of the Austrian Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary. The treaty left the issue of Croatia's status to Hungary, and the status was resolved by the Croatian-Hungarian settlement of 1868, when kingdoms of Croatia and Slavonia were united. The Kingdom of Dalmatia remained under de facto Austrian control, while Rijeka retained the status of corpus separatum introduced in 1779. After Austria-Hungary occupied Bosnia and Herzegovina following the 1878 Treaty of Berlin, the Croatian military frontier was abolished, and the territory returned to Croatia in 1881, pursuant to provisions of the Croatian-Hungarian settlement. Renewed efforts to reform Austria-Hungary, entailing federalization with Croatia as a federal unit, were stopped by advent of World War I. Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like